it's actually beneficial to you, okay, because of the way the grading scale works, okay? So it's actually beneficial to have an extra test. But we'll just see how our dates go, how the weather cooperates, information we get to cover. But on these dates, you can expect a test. So, January 22nd, we'll have our first test. This one and the last test will be in class. The other tests are completed online. I'm not going to use our class time for you to take a test. We just don't have that kind of time, okay? So those tests are going to be online. And we'll always know the test materials based on how we've covered material in class.
Isn't January 22nd next Sunday?
Is that Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was putting it up there for an online test. What's the Thursday before the 22nd? Somebody do that math. The 19th. First test will be on the 19th. And I will change that in the syllabus. So the 19th. Cool. Because the online test I set till Sundays. Midnight on Sundays. Okay? That's probably what I was looking at. Let's see. We'll always know the material because it'll, it's what we'll be working on for that week. Grading scale. What do you notice? I don't do total points. In a way I do, but in a way I don't. I work on percentages. So each assignment has a percentage that it's worth out of 100%. Okay? That means you can't simply just do, well, I've earned 500 out of 1,000 points, therefore I have a 50 in the class. That's not how percentages work. Okay? Now, as we begin to complete assignments, I will set up Blackboard to calculate your grade so that at any point in time, you know your grade in class. Okay? So that means like at week 4, I'm not going to try to do a midterm report. Okay? That's not going to happen. Okay? So what we'll do is once we have a few assignments in Blackboard, I can set it up to calculate it for you. Does that make sense? Okay. The grading policy works strictly on the 10-point scale as set by Reynolds. Okay, that follows Reynolds. Every policy is a Reynolds policy. It's not a Dr. Young policy. Okay, it is Reynolds policy that I expect to be followed. So for assignments, we've already mentioned the Connect assignments, already demonstrated how to answer them. When we look at the lab manuals, once again, we've gone through that. Lab participation. You do notice that there is a lab participation grade because the way that we'll work with the lab, okay, I can't say that like every Tuesday, Thursday we do lab or every Monday, Wednesday we do lab, okay? We'll do the labs as we cover the material, okay? So it might be that today we don't do a lab at all, but tomorrow we do a lab, okay? So, just be prepared at any point to do the labs. The lab participation, for some of the labs, so, maybe your partner that you're working with is doing all the work and class started at 11. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Now, maybe they're doing the majority of the work and you're just kind of sitting there and you've got your phone out, which we will talk about, okay? And if I notice that, you're not going to get participation points for that day, okay? If you leave before I dismiss the lab, points are going to be lost. Okay? I'm the professor, this is my class, I dismiss the lab. Okay? Any topics that is superfluous. Everybody familiar with that term? What's, like what? We're supposed to be doing lab, but maybe you're sitting there talking about some reality TV show. Okay? No, not in my class. Okay? Use break time for that. So make sure you stay on task at lab time. The practical, we've already mentioned. The test, already mentioned. Okay? Discussed those. For taking the online test, we have a Respondus lockdown browser. That doesn't tend to work very well with the test, but if you see it, just take note of it. Okay, we'll discuss it before the first online test. But so far as the online tests go, for the online test, you'll simply click the link, okay? And you only get one try. So that means you can't go in, open the test, look at it, come back, and think you're going to be able to complete the answers. Well, first of all, you're not going to get the same questions, okay? Second, you're not going to be able to attempt it. You're going to have a 0 for the score, okay? So there's only one attempt. The attempt is timed, all right? If we're doing an hour, roughly 15 minutes in class, because we're sort of on an hour, 15-minute schedule. If we're doing an hour and 15 minutes in class, I'm going to roughly give you an hour and a half online for completion, okay? So it's going to be equivalent to what you see in class. If something happens while you're taking the online test, like you lose power, your internet goes out, okay, you get knocked out, email me immediately. Don't wait 3 days. And I'm going to go look, trust me, okay, because it records everything for me. And I'll go look and I'll say, well, this happened 2 days ago. Why are you just telling me now? Okay? And if that's the case, most likely I'm not going to let you go back in and take it. Okay? Whatever got recorded will be the grade. Any questions? And try, I do want you taking the test without any materials, just like you would be in class, okay? But I also live in the real world, okay? Late work policy, pretty much, I don't take it. Every week, you're going to know, every week has a due date, Sunday at midnight, okay? You now know this from day 1 of class, okay? And there will be no surprises. If we miss 2 days due to weather, you still have